Alright, this mountain that we see is Mount of Olives. See up on Mount of Olives, the bell tower, one of them is the Ascension, where Jesus 40 days after resurrection ascended to heaven. Another tower which is not very obvious, that's the Augusta Victoria Hospital. So we'll be on Mount of Olives later on this week, tomorrow probably. So Mount of Olives is on our left hand side. On our right hand side in a moment is Mount Scopus. Now it's straight ahead of us, and this is the tower for the Hebrew University on Mount Scopus. So Mount Scopus on our right hand side. Welcome to the old city of Jerusalem, to the holy city of Jerusalem, to the city of Jerusalem. What we see here, the Kidron Valley, Mount of Olives, the Garden of Gethsemane, the Dome of the Rock, the Holy Sepulchre, and many other, the walls of the city of Jerusalem. So tomorrow we'll be walking inside the old city of Jerusalem. We're on Mount Scopus. Of course we'll find a place to take pictures. There will be an excellent place for pictures. So now here we cannot stop the bus. So the city of Jerusalem, Ora Salim, the city of peace, that's the Canaanite name. Peace, the peaceful city, the city of peace. Jerusalem, where the name comes from, Ora Salim, Jerusalem, Yerushalayim in Hebrew. Al-Quds in Arabic means the holy. So Jerusalem is the holiest city for the Jews, where the Holy of Holies and where the temple was. Jerusalem is the holiest for us, the Christians, where crucifixion, resurrection, the Eucharist, the Ascension. So the most important is the resurrection and the holiest. So it is the holiest for us. Jerusalem is the third holiest for Muslims after Mecca and Medina. That makes the city of Jerusalem the holy city. The three religions make it such very holy. So the Hebrew University of Jerusalem on our right hand side, that's Mount Scopus, and this is where I save my money. One of my sons is studying there. Yeah.
But it's very famous.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
The whole world.
It is, yeah. استدل عليه احسن منه from here and that direction, East Jerusalem, part of the West Bank, Jordan, Palestine. From this road and that direction, Israel. So East Jerusalem used to be with Jordan, Palestine, West Jerusalem with Israel, till the year 1967. Nowadays it's of course one city, the city of Jerusalem under Israel. Okay, East and West, East Jerusalem and West Jerusalem. And this is one of the big issues in peace process, the issue of East Jerusalem. So when you hear that, you understand what they are talking about. And this road, which is in front of us, we're gonna drive on that road, used to be no man's land between Israel on that side and Jordan, Palestine on this side. All right. Can you see that tram?
Yeah.
The direction of this tram is towards my house actually. I live 5 minutes drive from here. يطلع عبال. Yeah, home tonight, and of course we're gonna surprise my wife for supper tonight.
All of us will bring
Yeah,
home.
yes, and that will be last supper for me.
Oh my God.
Good one.
Ring the bell, surprise! 20 people for supper. الله يخليك. سلام سلام. Talks about the city of Jerusalem, talks about the old city of Jerusalem, which is built on a mountain, surrounded by valleys from all sides except the northern side. Where we are coming now, we're entering the city from the northern side. So it's a great privilege to be in Jerusalem. It's the city that you've been hearing about, reading about since you were young kids, and here you are. Can you imagine? You are in the city of Jerusalem. Welcome to Jerusalem, and welcome again to Jerusalem. On our right hand side it says Jewish ultra-Orthodox neighborhood. Can you see the kids here and the way they dress? So during Shabbat, Sabbath, these some roads in Jerusalem will be blocked because Jews are not allowed to do any job on Shabbat, on Saturdays. So some of these roads, some of these roads will be blocked. This road on our right hand side, because it's a Jewish neighborhood, will be blocked. If you can see that building with the United Nations flag, can you see my hand?
Yeah.
Can you see the United Nations flag up on top?
Yeah.
That was the border crossing. Border crossing. Mankus. Border crossing between Jordan and Israel. Jordan to the left, Israel to the right.
Oh, I see.
تعرف 8 درجات صار بين الرياح والقدس؟ 8 درجات جنيه.
دائما بين 5 ل 10 درجات.
يعني فريق والله فريق يعني يعتمدوا على اللي بتحمصوا بالمكيف.
To our left hand side, can you see the two domes? The grey domes. This is the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, the place of the resurrection. So tomorrow we'll be having Mass, so probably the Mount of Olives, see from a distance. The city of Jerusalem was built 18 times, destroyed 17 times due to wars and earthquakes. The walls of the city were built, destroyed and rebuilt several times. Some places on the same location, other places on a different location, depending on whether the city became larger or smaller. Sometimes the city became smaller, other times became larger. So, in a second you'll see the wall of the old city of Jerusalem, a beautiful wall. So which is, straight ahead of us. And this gate is called Jaffa Gate. Do you remember Jaffa, when the first day we were in Jaffa? Where people leave this city through this gate heading towards Jaffa. So this is west. Jaffa, west. So it's about 45 miles from it. The lower part of this wall, for example, that wall, the glacis wall, not this ramp, the wall is Crusaders, 1099. The wall behind it, there is another wall straight on. Can you see that? The top part is Ottoman Turks, 1538, during the time of Suleiman the Magnificent. The lower part of it, we don't see it from here, but when we cross this traffic light, you'll see the lower part of that wall, is Herodian. Goes back to the time of King Herod the Great, 20 BC. Can you imagine? So, for example, Mount Zion, which is that mountain, can you see my hand? It's gonna be to our left hand side in a minute or two. Mount Zion used to be within the walls of the city time of Jesus. But in the 16th century, when this wall was rebuilt, Mount Zion became outside the walls of the city. So here, the lower part of this wall on our left hand side is Herodian. The upper part of this wall is Ottoman. So 20 BC, 1538 on the same location. A valley, you'll see it. As I mentioned, the long history that talks about the city of Jerusalem talks about this part on our left hand side, the old city of Jerusalem. While the new city of Jerusalem, that's only 19th century on our right hand side. So it's built on a high mountain surrounded by valleys from all sides except the northern side. So this valley we're crossing is called Gehenna Valley, the valley of Hinnom, the Hinnom Valley. So in this valley on our left hand side is where Judas hanged himself after betraying Jesus. In this valley here. And here you can see how high is the city of Jerusalem, how steep is this valley. And it's not easy for enemies to come and climb up. That's why it's like a natural fortress, the city of Jerusalem. And for more protection, the walls were built around the city of Jerusalem. So that direction is the old city of Jerusalem. This direction, you'll see Mount of Olives on your left hand side in the far horizon in a second. Mount of Olives, you see the tower? Beyond Mount of Olives is the Judean desert. See how close. Here, 1 mile from here, we reach the Jerusalem forest. 2 miles from here, we reach the desert. And that added the importance of Jerusalem and Bethlehem, which is on a high mountain, very close to the desert and very close. Alright, we're heading south. 7 miles from here is Bethlehem. So, Jerusalem and Bethlehem, 2 cities are on the Judean mountains, very close one to the other. Bethlehem, sources of income to them. Of course, Bethlehem, first of all, is the place where the Lord Jesus is born, right? Other than Jesus, who came from Bethlehem as a king. David is originally from there. Bethlehem, the majority were Christians. Nowadays, you're gonna see the situation. We're gonna enter the wall due to the closure, due to the wall, to the bad situation. Many Christians immigrated. Now it's became minority, but the Christians of Bethlehem, they have a very, very, very famous handcraft, very famous industry. One of them is olive wood. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Carving on olive wood. Have you ever heard carving on olive wood? So Christians became the artists carved on olive wood. That you can have nativity set or nativity scene and many objects made out of olive wood. May go for a cross, Jerusalem cross. Now, alright, so by the way, most of the churches close between 12 and 2:30. So, we're gonna stop in Bethlehem, first of all, for shopping. I promised you, yeah, I see you smiling, come on. So, we'll have lunch. Then, you may have noticed we're a little bit ahead of the schedule.
Yes.
So, later on this afternoon, we'll come and do some few things to make our day easier tomorrow. Tomorrow is a long day. So, but when the churches will be open now, because they close between 12 and 2:30. And the changes, well, actually, what happened yesterday, Mount Tabor, do you remember Mount Tabor? Sometimes we wait in line to go on cabs, 1-2 hours, sometimes more. We were lucky yesterday, we were alone. That gave us an advantage to do Haifa and take our time in Haifa, and that give us for your benefits. And I hope you agree for these little changes. We're covering everything, and we may add few other things if you agree. So sometimes it's only Nazareth and Mount Tabor, and the whole day is gone. So we were lucky yesterday. So we were alone at Mount Tabor. That gave us opportunity to visit other things. Okay. All right. Now, if you ask me what to buy from Bethlehem, rosaries, yes. All right. Have you ever heard about Jerusalem cross?
Yeah.
It's one cross and 4 small crosses on the 4 corners. That represents the 5 wounds of Jesus. 1 wound in the body, 2 in the hands, and 2 in the feet. And you'll hear many other interpretations to the Jerusalem cross. Crucifixion took place in Jerusalem. The 4 evangelists that spread out Christianity to the 4 quarters of the world, and many other interpretations. So Jerusalem cross is a must. If you want to buy something for you, some gifts for other people, Jerusalem cross is one of the main things that represents the Holy Land. You may go for low budget, depends on your budget. You may go for a low budget, you may go for silver, gold, even diamonds. You may get good deals on diamonds. Nativity set or nativity scene. You also made out of olive wood or mother of pearl, one of the famous things here also. So, olive wood, and not the size that matter the price. It depends. It's not the size that matter the price. It depends the kind of wood, how old it is, how dry it is. Then if it's handmade or machine made, so you may buy a big nativity scene for a few dollars. You may buy a smaller one, handmade pieces of art, one of a kind, much more expensive. It depends on your budget. You may go for low budget, you may go for a real something worth one of a kind. You may go for coins, antiquities that were found here, widow's mite, for example, that were found in the time of Jesus. You may mix antiquities with jewelry. That is a coin, antique coin, which worth a lot, plus a Jerusalem cross in it, the coin. That you're mixing jewelry with antiquities, which is very unique. You don't find it anywhere else. Have you heard about Roman glass? What is Roman glass? Glass that is found in the time of the Romans. Jewelry is made out of Roman glasses. You may go for Eilat stone. Eilat is the name of a city in the south, where Solomon's mines, copper mines. So wherever you have copper in the land, find some stones very similar to the malachite stones, greenish, bluish green stones. Jewelry are made out of elat stone. If people are interested in icons, again, you may go for inexpensive modern icons. You may go for ancient, unique icons, which might be expensive. So it depends on your budget. And will be in a Christian store. You don't have to buy, of course. But if you buy, you'll be supporting the Christians of the Holy Land, especially Bethlehem. So, I am from Jerusalem, but I tell you, if you want to buy, get things from Bethlehem, they really need it. Yeah, so we'll see. And as a group, we do have special rates, special discounts. They do give you special deals also. When we go there, we all gather. They have a small presentation, what products they have, and other things. Now, they do have Dead Sea products. Do you want my advice or not?
Yeah.
Okay, don't say Johnny told us not to buy Dead Sea products. Okay, they are all my friend. Keep the Dead Sea products to the Dead Sea. When we go to the Dead Sea, there will be opportunity. You may buy them from me, but forget about the Dead Sea products, okay? Yeah, Dead Sea products, all kinds of cosmetics, cream, hand cream, perfumes, all kinds of cosmetics made of natural products out of the Dead Sea, which is very famous all over the world. It became so, yeah. And the wall, can you see the wall? Yeah. Of course, Israel built this wall concerned about security. But on the other side,